There's a huge disconnect at the moment between what you hear in the media and what you see people actually caring about, and the sort of things that I get emailed about on a daily basis, or even a lot of times a day as a member of the European Parliament. And the big thing that I'm being contacted about at the moment, what I'm getting a huge postbag on, is Article 13 of the proposed Copyright Directive. And this is really something which is of huge concern because it impacts on the way that the internet would be accessed in the long term. And effectively, you can see the idea behind what they're trying to do. They're concerned about content online and the effect of the person who has the rights to that content online having their rights protected so that their personal interest isn't being misused and other people aren't effectively getting a commercial benefit out of it. Now, the problem that comes then is when you try to legislate on something, and legislation at European Union level has this really bad track record of getting things badly wrong, and that's exactly what's happening when it comes to the Copyright Directive, because Article 13 effectively requires companies to police their content and to forcibly take down anything that shares something where the copyright is not properly known. There's only one way they can do that. They can only do that by sharing, by effectively automating the process of taking down any such content. Now, the danger is there that if you try to have a broad brush blanket approach to taking down copyrighted content, then you're going to end up taking down non-copyrighted content as well. You're going to end up taking down what's called fair use. So, for example, if you parody something, that's perfectly legitimate to do, but there's no way that a sweeping, crawling bot is going to be able to find out what's going on there. So you'll find that all sorts of things that aren't subject to copyright then suddenly get taken down. It's also going to impact on people who want to post links to other content. So effectively what you're going to end up having here is it's going to be so much more difficult for anything really to spread online. It's going to also impact on memes. It's going to be that much more difficult for anyone to put anything out. So what you're creating is this effectively sterilized version of the internet, where it's very, very difficult for people to go about legitimate usage of the internet on a daily basis. And just to me, that just reads wrong. That's not good for freedom of expression. That's not good, quite frankly, for the whole concept of the internet. What you want the internet to be is something which isn't constantly regulated by the state, and that's precisely what the European Union is seeking to do. Worse than that, of course, a lot of it will just be purely counterproductive, because it'll drive all of this across to the USA and to servers where frankly the EU has got very, very little chance of actually controlling anything. Also, finally, I am concerned about how that impacts on anyone else wanting to break into the market. This kind of crawler bot is going to cause all sorts of problems for a new startup company that's going to be faced with all of these copyright issues. So what this does is it benefits the tech giants at the expense of small businesses and small startups. You know what? That's always been a problem with the European Union. It listens to lobbying from big business, and then small business are the ones that suffer. It always listens to the big businesses and hurts the small guys. Well, that's why I'm against Article 13 of the Copyright Directive, and actually quite a lot of other things that are contained in that directive as well.